This figure really has me feeling like Hello guys, it's Alan the Collector. Today we're having a look at the ultimate feral predator from the movie Prey. The packaging is simple yet effective. Now the back of the box gets a little busier. We have a read-up of the film, and you can also see different product shots of the figure that gives you a glimpse of what the figure could look like if you're good at photography. And then as for my favorite part of the packaging, if we go down to the bottom here, we can get a read-up of who is responsible for making these awesome figures. Everyone at NECA does a very fine job bringing these figures to us, and so let's open it up. Plastic. But we don't care about the packaging too much here on this channel. We want to take a look at the goodness inside. I gotta say, this figure looks so much better in hands. Pictures don't really do it justice. NECA really nailed the look of this feral predator. But before we get a look at this guy, let's get a look at the things that make him so great, which are his accessories. And as you can see, this guy comes with a lot. We have 8 pairs of hands here, 2 sets of swappable mandibles. We've got some removable wrist blades, the crossbolt gun, a combi stick that splits into 2, a collapsed version of that same weapon, an open shield, a closed shield, and his medipack. So almost everything that you would need to really complete his look in the film. And as you can see, the feral predator is an alien that is not afraid to bear it all. He has no netting to speak of, and because of that, we can really get a good look at the details of his skin. Very kind of leathery in texture. NECA did a really great job capturing that gradient from browns to the red to the pink of the center of his chest and abs. And now going to the back, we can also see some of that same variation in detail. Look at that. Lots of different paints and splotches. Man, it's really just amazing how NECA is able to capture so many details and paint applications for the price point compared to other companies. And taking a look at the lower half of the figure, we get to see his second kill of the film, that wolf skull, and then we get to see this tiny little rattlesnake skull. That was his very first kill in the film. While the rattlesnake skull is not removable, the wolf skull, you can actually take it off at your leisure, and then it just kind of slots back in. We also see some smaller details that aren't removable, like the cut clamp. It's just this metal cutting tool that he used in the film. It's not removable, but NECA has already sculpted this accessory in one of the prototype images they've shown, so I bet we're gonna get this a little bit later. And the other cool thing that we see, this is the net ball accessory. This is the predator's kind of razor net that it throws on its victims. Other than that, we just get a lot of that detail we saw up top. You know, nice wrappings on the feet, and look at those predator toes. And then one of the cooler aspects of this predator is that it's one of the most proportional predators we've ever seen in a predator film, meaning that instead of having the big head that most predators are known for, the actor who played him, his head was actually located in the neck, and then this giant headpiece was actually an animatronic. And taking a closer look at this guy's ugly mug, that bone biomask that he has is removable to reveal,
one ugly mother.
A face only a mother could love. This was kind of a controversial look. I know there were quite a few Predator fans that weren't digging it. I did, only because the cool thing about Predators is that, like people, based on where we live around the world, we might look really different. Here you can see a lot of those details you might not have been able to pick up on screen. Ooh, those gnarly looking mandibles. Very, very nice. And then if we take a closer look at his biomask, it's deceptively organic. Yes, it is some kind of alien skull, but there are some details, the silver paint, that gives us an indication that it has been enhanced with technology. One thing I really like about the med pack is that it attaches magnetically to the back of this figure. Ooh, hear that click. Ooh. You can shake it, it's really not gonna go anywhere. It's also magnetized on the left side, so you can really pick your preference. And look at those fine details. You can see some Predator language etched into the metal. Getting into some God of War vibes, we have this collapse shield. It just kind of frictions itself on. It stays in, it's not going anywhere. Nice. And then We can do the same thing with the extended version of the shield. And I feel like it didn't look like this in the film. I feel like it was supposed to be that way, you know? That doesn't seem exactly accurate, but that's what we have to play with. Continuing on with this melee weapons, we get a collapsed version of that combi stick. You can see all the silver and copper details there. And then a longer version of that same weapon. The cool part about this is that it can split right in two, and then we have a dual wielded weapon. One part can be used as a sword, and then this can be used as a bludgeoning tool. And what Predator would be complete without his wrist blades? This time they are removable, and I kind of like that a little bit more. As you can see, we just need to plug one here, and then we do the same thing with the other one. Come on. Kind of don't like how splayed out they are. I might need to play with that a little bit more. I feel like they should be a little bit closer together, but he sure does look nice with them. Oh, awesome. Very, very cool. And then my favorite weapon the Predator used in this film is this crossbolt gun, which basically shoots magnetized arrows at its enemies using the targeting system on his biomass. And also, guys, something I just realized, this crossbolt accessory, it's magnetized. I was messing around with my tweezers and it hooked on. Yeah, that's really cool. You can actually store it on its back like so. You know, it's not the most snug fit, but it does fit there. They really thought of everything with this figure. And let's not forget these removable hooks that also come inside of the packaging. These are so that you can hook the spear to the Predator's belt so that when you're not using it, he has a place to store it, like so. He can actually store all of his weapons. That is very nice. Really cool attention to detail. I'm so glad NECA included all of that because I was not expecting that added detail, which is not something we get with all Predator figures. Unlike other figures in NECA's Predator line that come with alternate heads, this guy comes with alternate mandibles, which is done surprisingly well. If we look close, you can see the seam. You just give a tug on his jaw. Oh,
You are one ugly mother.
whoa, that looks painful. When you're just trying to intimidate your prey, you have this slightly opened expression, and when you're really trying to bite someone's head off, you get this big open mouth expression. Let's see how they look. They just plug right in, easy enough. So that's really cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's kind of a lot. This is wild. This is wild. He is
One beautiful mother.
I like the look, and the best part about this new way of doing the mandibles, that biomask he comes with still fits on. So you can really get some nice expression going on here. Let's see what it looks like with the smaller mouth here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I like that. I think this is how I might have him displayed. Oh, and as a little added bonus, if you have a NECA Wolfman figure from the Universal Monsters line, it comes with this really, really nice bear trap accessory. It could actually be used really well with this feral predator because in the film, we saw the predator step on this when the fur trappers were trying to hunt him down. So there could probably be some really cool display opportunities if you use this bear trap accessory in the right way, especially if you have two of them. Now, as for articulation, normally I wouldn't give you a full breakdown of any figure just because, you know, look, we're all collectors here. However, I think because this is a brand new Predator body, it's really good if we just kind of go over it. You know, he can strike a decent T-pose, double jointed elbows. He's got a ball joint in the neck, but also a ball joint at the base of the neck. That's new. Give them all kinds of expression. Let's not forget that bicep swivel. As for the wrist joints, most have a horizontal swivel hinge, but it is important to note that the left gun holding hand does have a vertical swivel hinge so that you can more accurately point the crossbolt gun. A decent diaphragm joint here. I think it's a ball joint. Just give them a little bit of play. And then we have another ball joint at the waist. Again, the two combined, they give you a decent amount of range, but, you know, nothing to write home about. Don't mean to flash anybody here, but if we, you know, take away the sensors, you can see what I'm coining the disco ball joint. The cool thing about it is that it's almost like very geometric. It's not a perfect sphere. What that means is that when you go to bend his leg at the hip, it really locks into that pose. It almost feels like it's a ratchet joint. Double jointed knees, so you'll be able to get him into some really good crouching poses. Swivels at the top, that's nice. And then instead of a traditional ball joint that we have at the ankle, we have, a hinge peg joint right there. Be careful that that hinge is actually pointed in a way that you can see, because otherwise you might snap your figure in two, and we wouldn't want that. And then for his size, the feral predator is about 8 inches tall, and here's how he compares with some other predators in NECA's predator line. Some Marvel Legends, a medley of Power Rangers Lightning Collection action figures, a few figures by McFarlane Toys, and a few figures that I think will help you really recreate some of those really awesome scenes from the film. We've got a Tonto figure from the Lone Ranger, we have the McFarlane horse from the Witcher line, and then we also have Diamond Select's Jack Sparrow action figure. The reason why I got him in the mix is because he kind of looks like he's dressed like the fur trappers from that film. So if you want to recreate a look with some pirate figures you might have in your collection, I think they will really pair well with this feral predator. And finally, just because I like doing this, here's how the feral predator looks under black light. It could be better. Final thoughts. This figure really has me feeling like there is so much going right on this figure that any real complaints I have are kind of nitpicky. I think his silhouette is a little slim. The feral predator, at least in my opinion, had a bulkier profile on the big screen, and I do wish he came with some of the other accessories that NECA sculpted, because this is, after all, an ultimate figure. But other than that, the accessories he does come with, plus the paint, the articulation, and overall detail, for $36.99, this is a bought-on-sight figure, in my opinion. But what about you guys? Are you picking up the feral predator? Let me know in the comment section below. And with this being my first review ever, please let me know how I did. Your feedback is always appreciated. And thank you guys again for taking the time to watch my video. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be right here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and be sure to stick around for a short gallery ahead.